From partners to enemies, the Sudanese army is battling the paramilitary rapid support forces. It's a power struggle that has turned into a fierce armed confrontation. But how will this play out? And is Sudan's unity in danger? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Darine Abougaida. The streets of Sudan are once again seeing the devastating effects of conflict. Political differences are plunging the nation into further instability and threatening to bring full-scale war. The latest violence began on Saturday after weeks of tension between the army and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces. Millions of people in the capital Khartoum are at risk. Water and electricity have been cut in many areas. After years of coups, protests and political instability, the people of Sudan were getting ready for a new government. But now those plans are at risk as the threat of an all-out civil war looms over the country. The former Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, who had a crucial role in the fragile democratic transition, is pleading with both sides to stop the fighting.
My first message is to General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the leaders of the Sudanese military, and to Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo and the leaders of the Rapid Support Forces. The exchange of fire must stop immediately, and the voice of reason must rule. Everyone will lose, and there is no victory when it's on top of the bodies of our people.
All right, let's take a closer look at what's led to this unrest. So the most recent bout of instability emerged in 2019. That's when the military and the Rapid Support Forces ousted the longtime leader Omar al-Bashir after months of mass protests. 2 years later, they carried out another military takeover, this time by pushing out Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, who was seen as the face of the transition to democracy. Military leaders signed a deal with politicians last year. In it, they promised to pave the way towards a civilian-led government and fair elections. But that has yet to happen. A new government deal was scheduled to be signed 2 weeks ago, but disputes about how to integrate the Rapid Support Forces into the army escalated and delayed the process once more. We'll now bring in all our guests. Joining us from Khartoum, we have with us Maryam al-Mahdi, who's the leader of the National Ummah Party and a former foreign minister of Sudan. Ala ad-Din Nugug, a spokesperson for the Sudanese Professional Association, a part of the Forces of Freedom and Change Coalition. And also Dalia Muhammad Abdel Mun'im is joining us, who's a Sudan-based activist. Thank you for your time with us on Inside Story. Maryam al-Mahdi, first to you. Just earlier this month, your Secretary General of the National Ummah Party said that the political process to restore transitional civilian rule has reached its final stages, and we hope that it will be completed in the coming days. So have these latest developments come as a shock to you, and what's the official reaction of your party?
Thank you very much, Ms. Devine, and I welcome you and all your followers and your guests. Actually, this is came as a expected surprise, because we knew for the last at least 6 weeks things were escalating to the maximum between the two heads of the armed groups, the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Deployment Forces. And though they were both of them committed to the framework agreement, which was also, as mentioned by you, finalizing in the last steps after we finished the 5 pledged workshops, ending by the SSR workshop, which also ended in a hostile way, let me say. So it was like an introduction that things are not going well between the two, and that would definitely affect the political
Maryam al-Mahdi, that was
procedure.
missing? What was it in that agreement that was missing or that was wrong with that agreement that got Sudan to the point it is at today? Because also at the time, your head of the political bureau, Mohammed al-Mahdi Hassan, said that your party was actually hoping to convince the non-signatories to come on board on that agreement.
True. This actually we had two obstacles. A outstanding issue between the two armed groups, or the heads of the armies, the head of the Rapid Deployment Force and the head of the Sudanese Armed Force. This was a problem regarding the SSR, the security sector reform, and that is about what comes first, the reform in the security sector or the merger of the security sector. This was all the time an issue of debate, and for that there was a technical committee, from each party, to settle that. And actually, before even this technical committee, already things on the political background, both of them agreed and signed to 37 principles according to which the security sector reform should be done. And this also was signed by all the heads of the signatory groups.
Okay, let's bring in one of the signatories. Thank you so much. Let's bring in Dr. Alauddin, because your group, in fact, was one of the signatories to that agreement. It was really meant to usher a new era, a new political process for the country. What's gone wrong?
Yeah, thank you for the interview, Devin. The problem is that they were not both committed to the agreement. Let's say frankly that. They are saying that, but one of the generals was really committed. That is the Rapid Support Forces General Hemeti. But the army leader was saying so, but intentionally he was not committed to that. That appeared clearly in the workshop of the SSR, where the army paper saying a lot of things that against democratic transition. They were asking for independency in their strategies, in putting the army strategies and the military strategies. They were asking for not to be under the civilian leadership. And they were asking for the command center of the SSR and the process in which the DDR will be under them, while the Rapid Support Forces were committed to the transitional, democratic transition. They were committed to the SSR command center will be under the civilian leadership and will not be under a militant. And they were committed that the military strategies and the army strategies will be under the civilian leadership. So this is a major difference in the mindset and thinking between the two generals. And even when they signed, when they signed that